We will begin with the gentleman around whom this fight card was built. First fighter to the scale, taking part in this welterweight main event, Kevin Trailblazer Holland. 170.5, the official weight for Kevin Holland. And his opponent is the 6th-ranked UFC welterweight contender and former 2-time world title challenger, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. 170, the official weight for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Your UFC Fight Night main event is now official. All right, next athlete to the scale, competing in a prelim in the UFC's featherweight division, Marcelo Rojo. 145. Official weight 145 for Marcelo Rojo. All right, next to the scale, competing in a prelim in the UFC strawweight division, is Stella Nunes. 114.5 for Estela Nunes. All right, next athlete to the scale, the 15th ranked UFC women's flyweight contender, Amanda Ribas. 125. Official weight 125 for the flyweight contender, Amanda Ribas. All right, next athlete to weigh in, competing in the co-main event in the UFC's welterweight division, Brian Bam Bam Barberena. 170.5, the official weight for Brian Barberena. All right, next fighter to the scale, back for the first time in a long time, Jonesing to get on the scale, and one half the featured prelim in the UFC's welterweight division, Nico the Hybrid Price. 170, the official weight for the Floridian, Nico Price. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the strawweight prelim opener, Jasmine Jauregui. 115.5 is the weight for Jasmine Jauregui. All right, next fighter to the scale, UFC roster staple, competing in the lightweight division, Michael the Menace Johnson.
I missed Thanksgiving for this. Give me point two.
156, the official weight for Michael Johnson. All right, next fighter to the stage is the UFC lightweight legend, Clay the Carpenter Guida. 154.5, the official weight for the veteran Clay Guida. All right, next fighter to the scale, oncoming force in the UFC's featherweight division, Jonathan JSP Pierce. 146 for JSP, Jonathan Pierce. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a prelim in the UFC's featherweight division, Francis Marshall. 145 on the nose, the official weight for Francis Marshall. All right, next fighter to the stage, charged with kicking off the main card, live on ESPN in the middleweight division, Kyle Daukaus. 184.5. 184.5, the official weight for Kyle Dawkins. All right, next fighter to the scale, UFC strawweight veteran making her 22nd UFC appearance here in Orlando, the 12th ranked contender, Angela Overkill Hill. $115.5, the official weight for Angela Hill. All right, next fighter to the stage, weighing in perhaps for the final time as a professional mixed martial arts athlete, the lightweight veteran, Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman. 155.5, the official weight for Scott Holtzman. All right, next we make way for another legend competing in a prelim in the UFC's featherweight division. He is Darren the Damage Elkins. $145, the official weight for the veteran Darren Elkins. All right, next fighter to hit the scale today, the 13th ranked UFC women's strawweight contender, Emily Ducote. 115.5, the official weight for Emily Ducote. All right, next athlete to weigh in this morning as we continue to turn and burn, competing in a prelim in the lightweight division, Renato Valdez. 156, the official weight for Renato Valdez. All right, next fighter to the stage, competing in a featured bout on the main card in the flyweight division, the number 6 ranked contender, Mateus Nicolau. 126, the official weight for Mr. Nicolau. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a prelim in the lightweight division, Natan Levy. Official weight 156 for Natan Levy. All right, next fighter to the stage, competing on the main card of the middleweight division, Roman Dolidze. 185.5, the official weight for Roman Dolidze. All right, next fighter to the stage, a man who needs no introduction, future Hall of Famer, the former UFC lightweight champion, competing in the co-main event here at welterweight, Rafael dos Anjos. 170, the official weight for Rafael dos Anjos. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, a lightweight on an absolute tear, as we say hello to Mark Jacasey. 155.5, the official weight for Mark Jacasey. Tracy Cortez. 125, the official weight for Tracy Cortez. He's the 4th ranked UFC heavyweight contender, competing on the main card live on ESPN, Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa. 266, the official weight for Tai Tuivasa. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, charged with kicking off the main card in the UFC's middleweight division, your boy Eric Anders. 186. 186, the official weight for EA, Eric Anders. All right, next fighter to the stage, the number 5 ranked UFC heavyweight contender, Sergey Pavlovich. 255, the official weight for Sergey Pavlovich. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a featured bout on the main card in the flyweight division, the number 7 ranked contender, Matt Schnell. 126.5, the announced weight for Matt Schnell. That is half a pound over the flyweight divisional limit. Matt Schnell weighing in here for the second time. $126, the official weight for Matt Schnell. The Fresh Prince, Phil Rowe. $173.5, the official weight for Phil Rowe, 2.5 pounds north of the welterweight limit. All right, our final athlete to weigh in this morning, competing on the main card. He is the 8th ranked UFC middleweight contender, Jack Hermanson. $186, the official weight for Jack Hermanson. All right, thank you all for coming out. We will see you over at Amway Center for the ceremonial weigh-in, 4 p.m. local time here today.